Hi guys and welcome back to a Let's Play Encased. We are in Concord, the Concord station ruins, working our way towards the end objective. And that's probably this exit, maybe. I suppose. That's all that is indicated on the map. And we should probably avoid the fights as much as possible. It's kind of a maze. Looking for the exit. Right. Not the exit to the desert. That's not really helpful. That is where we entered. The descent to the landing pad, maybe. Right here. Maybe that is where we need to go. If that is at all possible.
This thing is beating like a giant heart.
Well, can I go back to Concord? I really don't want to be anywhere near Maelstrom.
The holographic training simulation is still running. Pink silhouettes are walking their patrol, weapons ready. Looking over the terminal's half-shattered display, you realize the situation has become much more dire. The active program reports that the holograms are equipped to fire energy pulses, and their hits can be quite painful. After some time, you notice a group of temple novitiates. Like you, they're studying the hologram from a safe distance. They haven't spotted you yet.
Right, we cannot ignore them apparently. Call out to them.
One of the clerics, presumably the leader, smiles placidly. Employee, we are here to observe. As you know, any interaction with Maelstrom can spiral out of control in an instant.
And also, in this case, conviction needed. So if you start this game, invest points in influence and have brains at level 6 for conviction. You will need it. Right, and the other guys joined us here. Let's see where are we supposed to go again. 2 golems, training holograms. And we should go here, I think. If that is at all possible. Does this lead to something that will help us?
Maelstrom is getting nearer. The increasing vibration and tense crackling of your Kairos Geiger counter attest to it. Beyond the door at the end of the corridor, a ragged white storm is raging, and yellowed sheets of paper now and then flap against the dusty glass in the gale force winds. A strange rattling sounds from the restroom. The noise gradually increases in volume until it explodes into a cacophony of breaking porcelain and gushing water. Almost simultaneously, fountains of sewage erupt above the toilet stalls. This disaster is followed by a discordant cry of victory. A powerful kick throws the toilet door open, and 3 fops come out of the stall.
Well, only option is to greet them.
One of the fops waves to you, wafting a horrific fecal smell in your direction. We came to make sure you don't get gobbled up by Maelstrom. Helping is not part of our plan, so you're gonna have to make it on your own. He pauses to examine the slowly spreading brown puddle at his feet.
Well, thanks a lot, but I'll continue on my way then. Right, these are the fops. Need to get the rest of the team here. Come on. Yeah, we could probably fight them, but let's maybe not. Well, let's go now. So we are getting closer to Maelstrom. Apparently. Dead ends. Can we actually get there? No. Come on, Crom. Keep moving. And let's maybe make a save. You managed to get through the ruins of the station and reach the landing pad. Check the ammunition. And let's continue.
This thing is beating like a giant heart.
Well, can I go back to Concord? I really don't want to be anywhere near Maelstrom.
Broken board.
The crackling of your Kairos suddenly breaks through Maelstrom's howling. Pulsating purple waves ripple and flex in the glowing air as if boiling about the invisible border. You throw your head back to see Maelstrom lazily swirling directly above you.
but an unknown anomaly is blocking your way. It's almost imperceptible, but probably extremely dangerous.
Probably extremely dangerous. Let's first get a better look.
You circle around the anomaly. It's an irregularly shaped bubble around a dense, swirling void. The anomaly covers an area of about 30 square meters, and most of the landing capsule falls within its perimeter. That will be a problem. This is the same capsule you were going to use to get to Maelstrom.
Alright, scan it.
Green rays flicker across the surface of the anomaly, outlining its spheroidal shape. Data scrolls up on your scanner display.
Read the results on the scanner. Meat grinder. That sounds ominous. Unknown prevalence. Hazard class 10. Active element of a security system. Perhaps. Throw a bolt.
You throw a bolt at the anomaly. It hops about in the air for a few seconds, as if bouncing on an invisible trampoline, and then flattens as if crushed by a multi-ton press, and finally snaps in half.
Well, the only option is to take a cautious step towards the anomaly or move away. Let's take a cautious step.
At the very last moment, Crump shoves you back with his shoulder.
Wait. Don't go there, boss. My gut tells me this whole idea is crap.
The anomaly suddenly seems to stretch towards you, as if sensing your presence. And you're not the only one witnessing this.
Here's what I'll say. When they locked me up last time, I thought I'd start reading all kinds of books while I had the time, to familiarize myself with the sciences, get me?
The bruiser stares silently at the anomaly for a while.
I got hold of this one journal that said there were anomalies that act like predatory plants. Sometimes they need to catch some living being, and when they do, poof, they shut down right away. And I think this crap is just like that.
Alright. Convince Katarzyna to enter the anomaly in your place. No one else can defeat Maelstrom. Same probably applies for Crumb if you have 80 reputation. Or conviction, there it is again. Well, let's just close our eyes and enter the anomaly.
You walk decisively into the tensely vibrating bubble and feel the space around you filled with deafening silence. Your ears pop. From your peripheral vision, you notice a rapidly approaching shadow. You turn to see Katarzyna. Despair gives her strength. Screeching in horror, she grabs you around the midriff, and the two of you literally fall out of the vibrating spatial bubble. The anomaly surrounding the landing pad begins to change. The vibration around its perimeter grows more rapid and chaotic, as if engulfed by a transparent flame. A moment later, it disappears with a soft poof. The way is clear.
Right, look at both companions.
Zeletskaya clings to your shoulder.
Don't do that again, okay? Getting used to watching people you know die. What could be worse than that?
The bruiser gives you a sullen look, then strikes the ground with his huge fist, enraged.
I'm still angry about your shenanigans. It's cool you're not worried about this stuff, but it looks to me like you're on an important mission.
Alright, dust yourself off and head for the transport capsule.
Katarzyna gazes after you in concern.
Hey, take care, all right?
You look back at the ruins of the landing pad once more. A purple glow seems to have frozen in the air. Somewhere high above your head, the transport capsule's cables vibrate like giant guitar strings. Maelstrom is already near. All that remains is to take the last step.
Right. So we don't actually have to fight Maelstrom, apparently. So much for all the preparations. Right. Where do we need to go?
The Maelstrom, now weak and shrunk, is slowly spinning amidst the thick fog. It is restrained by the emulator's core broadcasting via the Maelstrom beacons, though still very dangerous. You touch it with your fingers for a split second, and a flow of information overwhelms you at once, stunning you for a few moments. Listening carefully, you hear the familiar sound ingrained in your memory. Soft, rhythmic beats like heartbeats. You've already heard them while contacting the Maelstrom through the emulator, but they're much weaker and softer now. The surface of the Maelstrom unfolds slowly and as if reluctantly in rhythm with the beats. Your mind opens toward the white nothingness as if hanging in midair. And something living inside the Maelstrom, invisible but perceptible, freezes in front of you, awaiting your command.
Alright, so now it is decision time. You can switch off the Maelstrom, ceasing its activity altogether. Run the dome clearing program. That does not sound good. Listen to Nakamura, pass her control over the Maelstrom by configuring the beta helmet in the appropriate way. Do Nakamura a disservice, configuring the beta helmet the wrong way. Listen to Russo, zone the Maelstrom, divide it into samples, safe for research, and that is what we are going to do for science.
You stop beside the Maelstrom, thinking. Any decision seems a hasty one now. Whoever you give control of this power to, there'll be no way to predict the consequences. The only solution that seems reasonable is giving the Maelstrom to scientists. With enough time and resources for their research, they'll do the right thing eventually.
Well, let's hope so.
Your mind is connected to the Maelstrom. You give it a complicated order. Split into several streams. Lower the peripheral activity, and make specific borders to the research zones to avoid disturbing ordinary dome dwellers. The white vortex is shimmering with lightning, listening obediently to your commands. Then flashes with white light and spreads so fast you have no time to react. The shining stream pushes you backward, casting you into an endless white nothingness.
Alright. You've decided to modify Maelstrom so Russo and other scientists could study it as safely as possible. And to the situation with the pod. Maelstrom seemed within arm's reach, but the passage to it was blocked by a dangerous anomaly. After studying it, you realized that it demanded a human sacrifice. I don't think any of us died though, so... Upon touching Maelstrom, you set it up exactly as Henrietta wanted. Its radiation was attenuated to a safe level, and it itself was divided into many easily controllable anomalous zones, convenient for studying and conducting experiments. Very good. No sign of Crom or Katarzyna. Hunger and thirst are no longer a threat, thanks to Hermit. Let's report back to Russo.
Yellow dust is still hovering in the warm air, not yet settled down completely. Russo is standing near her tent, looking both peaceful and lost.
I feel as if they'd taken my favorite toy from me. I'm kidding. I'm glad you succeeded.
So, what are you going to do now?
Henrietta watches the Maelstrom, which looks as if squeezed inside a gigantic parallelepiped.
The most involved part is just the beginning. I make up an engineer team first, we create a Maelstrom controlling interface, and then we elaborate a system of tests.
She lightly squeezes your shoulder and looks into your eyes gratefully.
I say, without my usual irony, we'll be able to do so much thanks to you. How much? I don't know. Our future may surpass our boldest dreams. Time will tell.
Katarzyna notices you from afar and waves her hand. Dressed in a white lab coat, she looks utterly out of place and lost in the desert.
You did it, right? I never doubted it for a Well, that is, I doubted it, of course, but I knew you had a chance. I was waiting for your return.
Belitskaya smiles awkwardly.
So, what will you do next?
Katarzyna shrugs lightly.
Well, I've got citizenship and a job again. I'd hope to get a room over time. I've had enough of those expeditions, shooting and wandering around the wasteland. I want to finally settle down in one place.
Alright, well then you probably don't want to go on a new adventure.
The girl huffs warily.
Can we have adventures in some civilized places? I seem to have hot food, clean water and air conditioning. Although, I don't mind it anyway. Let's go. You will watch over me, won't you?
Little Smiths. No, I'm looking for Crom.
Nakamura is pacing back and forth in her tent, but stops anxiously when you come in.
Did you bring the helmet?
got rid of the helmet to prevent a person like herself from seizing power. The helmet exploded upon configuration.
Nakamura's face pales.
You may go. Yes, you may.
She leans on her desk, looking lost.
Not sure what to do next. If there is anything to do next. Checking if Crumb is on site. Yeah, doesn't mention anything that we need to do. So, could maybe talk to the other factions, and that's about it, I guess. Or maybe the end triggers if we leave this area. That's also possible. Right, Crumb is here.
Crump looks back at the ruins of Concord, then looks at you and nods slowly in approval.
Well done.
The bruiser crunches his fists imperturbably.
People are still assholes. Few of them are asking for some enlightenment. That's what I'll do.
Alright, off to go with us on a new adventure.
The orange grins.
Let's roll. Okay, come on. Just tell that Katarzyna not to bother me. Lies a lot. Fusses around beside the point.
Right, this way. Do they have anything to report?
Zemeckis is sitting in the same place, but there's no teacup in front of him. There's a bottle of some alcohol, a carafe of water, and 2 shot glasses instead. Hieronymus raises his glass slightly above the table.
So, how are you doing? Feeling like a winner? Sit down. Let's drink to your success.
Alright then.
Zemeckis pushes the bottle toward you, allowing you to have a better look at it.
Uzo, A Greek national drink. In fact, it's hooch with anise, fennel, and cloves. It's very strong, so I'll reduce it for you. You can try it straight later, if you wish. I like it straight. Though, I'll repeat myself. It's a personal preference.
He half fills your shot glass with ouzo, then adds water from the carafe. The liquid turns rather turbid. Zemeckis watches your sour face and laughs.
Oh dear, come on. You're thinking now, he's gonna poison me with that hooch. Nope.
Zemeckis downs his glass and squeezes his eyes shut.
Alright, drink.
The drink smells pleasantly of fennel and has a slight warming effect, though it leaves a hint of metallic aftertaste, and your lips and tongue turn slightly numb. Zemeckis is attentively watching you drink.
Do you recall our old conversation about tricks? About the assistant drawing everyone's attention? He shows you the tools used for the trick, as if they were important. Though actually, they are just junk. The only purpose of those tools is to be demonstrated, while the magic is happening just next door.
He looks down at the empty shot glass in your hand.
Think about it. Drinking with a man who you've so completely let down. Once again, you've surprised me, employee. Perhaps now is the time to say goodbye. I have things to do. I must mitigate the damage you've done to my organization. Thanks for the company. Farewell.
Hieronymus winks at you.
What? Right. Let's not have a drink with Zemeckis then. Instead, let's... go to Katarzyna.
Katarzyna notices you from afar and waves her hand. Dressed in a white lab coat, she looks utterly out of place and lost in the desert.
You did it, right? I never doubted it for a sec. Well, that is, I doubted it, of course, but I knew you had a chance. I was waiting for your return.
Belitskaya smiles awkwardly. The girl huffs warily.
Can we have adventures in some civilized places? I seem to have hot food, clean water, and air conditioning. Although, I don't mind it anyway. Let's go. Okay, I'm coming with you. If you won't abandon me.
Right. Report with Russo.
Yellow dust is still hovering in the warm air, not yet settled down completely. Russo is standing near her tent, looking both peaceful and lost.
I feel as if they'd taken my favorite toy from me. I'm kidding. I'm glad you succeeded.
Henrietta watches the Maelstrom, which looks as if squeezed inside a gigantic parallelepiped.
The most involved part is just the beginning. I make up an engineer team first, we create a Maelstrom controlling interface, and then we elaborate a system of tests.
She lightly squeezes your shoulder and looks into your eyes gratefully.
I say, without my usual irony, we'll be able to do so much thanks to you. How much? I don't know. Our future may surpass our boldest dreams. Time will tell.
And Crumb. He was near. In this area. Not in this area. But somewhere over here, I think. Let's get the team complete and leave this area.
Crump looks back at the ruins of Concord, then looks at you and nods slowly in approval.
Well done.
The orange grins.
Let's roll. Okay, come on. Just tell that Katarzyna not to bother me. Lies a lot. Fusses around.
I'm just assuming that leaving this location will trigger some kind of end.
Another milestone in the history of mankind has come to an end. Maelstrom, that you have awakened in the excavation zone at C-12 Nashville facility, has remained completely unexplored, much like the civilization of the forefathers that created it.
Well, it's going to be researched now, I guess.
Of course, Maelstrom was neither good nor evil. It probably turned out to be just a tool that humanity simply was not mature enough to wield. Perhaps it was a communication interface that tried to unite the minds of all the people under the dome. Or a security system that warned us against getting into contact with something unknown and dangerous. Or a creative force that transforms the world and awakens supernatural powers in some individuals. One thing is indisputable. Maelstrom, lost in its own creation, gave rise to your incredible mind. And once in your hands, it gave you the opportunity to change the fate of the world completely. When it came down to making a choice, you followed your conscience and put your trust in someone whose intelligence, sincerity, and good intentions were never in doubt. Henrietta Russo and all her scientist colleagues under the dome received a truly luxurious gift. An enormous, insanely complex anomaly ready for their research and experiments. Maelstrom was split into many foci with different properties and well-defined boundaries. Although your decision had political consequences, nothing much changed at first. Life under the dome went on as usual. Thanks to your help, the new committee's power grew manyfold. The former Cronus became a totalitarian, bureaucratic empire.
Yeah, we should have killed them all, probably.
The many-fold increase in controlling policies made life in the new committee almost insufferable. Magellan people raised a revolt, which was put down with a heavy hand. Elections took place in Carmine Heights. The Reisners kept their position.
Alright. That's what we wanted.
Your help had a significant effect on the settlement, and the community learned its lesson. Peace among its members became the highest priority of its internal policy, and eventually led to the creation of the local parliament. The long-lasting, simmering conflict which had been ruining the marriage of Johann and Olivia gradually faded. The now wiser spouses managed to build a balanced settlement, combining both powerful scientific potential and productive agriculture. With the passage of time, Carmine Heights managed a small but technically equipped army to protect the Republic from invading forces. Zemeckis' embarrassment from losing the elections in Carmine Heights didn't last long. Hieronymus channeled all his passion toward transforming the Phalanx, trying to turn it from a private mercenary army to something bigger. One could say he failed. The false database you gave him did not allow Zemeckis to lure the new committee's key employees away, which was necessary to develop the Phalanx's own scientific projects. The Phalanx remained a community of mercenaries. The pocket country created by Hieronymus decayed gradually, becoming totally unpopulated after a couple of decades. Zemeckis himself died in 1999 after a long illness, seeing for himself both the rise and fall of the Phalanx. Your help and support to the church resulted in it spreading all over the dome in just a few years. Its branches opened even in the farmost places. No qualitative leap in the virtual world technology occurred, and both the church and its faith became something quite mundane after a while. As the new committee grew stronger, the church's position worsened. Its adepts started being harassed. The church was eventually eliminated by Kimiko Nakamura's decree. As for the picnic neutral zone, it degraded slowly for many years. Your help proved to be not enough to provide its autonomy.
Well, I'm not sure what else we could have done to help the picnic neutral zone, but alright.
The sudden and, more importantly, pointless death of the Queen was a hard blow to FOP morale. Just a few years after losing their leader, the FOPs dispersed across the desert, leaving no trace of their former force. In the hands of White Wing, Maelstrom began a new scientific era. The next 2 years of research revealed more about the dome than everything that had been learned before. New drugs were developed to completely counter radiation sickness and cancer. In 1983, the prospect of escaping the dome and reversing the infertility problem were but the first of many glorious achievements for mankind.
Very good. Science wins, apparently.
The scientists had no desire to become a political force, but nevertheless their influence changed society under the dome forever. The future continued to be uncertain, but now at least it was in good hands. Though it became obvious much later, after many years, by that time, the desert had covered your traces. Though the tale of what you'd done is still alive, and will stay like that till the end of time.
And with that, I'll make a cut here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.